So whether you're in Hattiesburg or anywhere along the Mississippi Gulf Coast, Ocean Springs, Bay St. Louis, or anywhere in between, there's a strategy right now that can help you sell your home for full market value or even above it. And almost nobody, including a lot of agents in South Mississippi, are even talking about it. I'm Steve Paulman with Dunbar Real Estate, South Mississippi's real estate authority, and I help homeowners position their homes to win in this market, not just list them. Because right now, buyers are dealing with interest rates in the 6 to 7% range, which has crushed affordability. But what most sellers don't realize is that some buyers are actively searching for very specific type of opportunity. And when they find it, they are more than willing to pay more for the home because they are literally saving hundreds a month in their monthly payment. It's called an assumable loan. You see, all government-backed loans are 100% assumable. Those are USDA, VA, and FHA loans. So what that means is instead of a buyer getting a brand new mortgage in today's higher rates, they can take over your existing loan, including your low interest rate. So if you're locked in a rate that's around 3% from 20 or 21, a buyer today could step into that same loan in a 2026 market. Now, here's where this becomes extremely powerful, because when a buyer assumes your loan, they don't just finance the full purchase price the traditional way. Instead, they take over your remaining balance, and then they either pay the difference between your loan balance and your sales price in cash or by using a second mortgage. And it gets better than that because in many cases, there's no traditional appraisals required and closing costs are significantly lower than a standard transaction. So if they use a second mortgage, that means they could effectively buy your home with little to no money down and at an extremely low rate. So I ask you, would you be willing to pay a premium for a home or maybe even a little above market value if you were in that situation? Because I know that I would. Think about what that does from a buyer's perspective. They're saving hundreds, sometimes maybe even $1,000 a month compared to today's rates. And because of that, they are far more willing to pay above market value for a home. I recently worked with a seller where we used this exact strategy. We positioned the home around an assumable loan. We highlighted that low interest rate and we created a sense of urgency around it. And we ended up getting close to $10,000 above what we would consider normal market value. And the buyer was extremely happy to pay it because they were getting a 3% interest rate in today's market. You see, your low interest rate isn't just part of your loan. It's a valuable asset in and of itself, and it deserves to be recognized and paid for in your sale. That's the kind of opportunity that most sellers are completely missing right now because they're still thinking in terms of traditional pricing and marketing instead of understanding how to leverage the financing that's attached to their home as part of the marketing strategy itself. And this right here is exactly what separates how I position homes on the market from those who are still just listing them and using traditional marketing that worked back when money was extremely cheap and houses were flying off the shelves. You see, a lot of agents are just putting homes on the market, but I look for ways to create a financial advantage for buyers that allows my sellers to win. And then I build my marketing strategy around it and I deliver it to the buyers using a strategic, targeted marketing approach. And here's another costly mistake that I see homeowners making all the time. They rely on online estimates like Zestimates to figure out what their home is worth. You see, in Mississippi, that's a major problem because we're a non-disclosure state, which means that the purchase price is not a matter of public information. And that means that those platforms don't even have accurate sales data to begin with. So if you want to understand why those online estimates are often always off and how to actually determine your home's true market value, click the video right here because I break it down step by step. And even if you're thinking about selling, you need to watch it before you price your home. Now, if you want to go to market with the maximum leverage, click the link in the description of this video and schedule my free pre-market home prep and pricing consultation. There's no cost, there's no contracts, and there's no obligations. I'll come out and I'll walk the home with you and I'll show you exactly how to prep it for the market the right way. And I'll pull real data and give you an accurate market value backed by what's actually happening right now in today's market. I'll also identify unique advantages that your home offers, like the assumable loan, that today's buyers are actively looking for, and then we can build a marketing strategy around those strengths. That is how you win in today's market. This is how I will position your home so that you can walk away with the absolute most that the market will allow. So if you got value from this, please subscribe for weekly, no fluff, straight to the point South Mississippi real estate strategy, and I'll see you on the next episode.